Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's edition of Press R. The annual gross domestic product growth rate of Cameroon for over a decade is about 3.5%. The projection in 2025 is about 6%. Political and economic pundits have been questioning why, with a world of natural resources, Cameroon cannot get a double-digit economic growth. During presidential elections in more developed countries, the economy is at the center of the debate. Thus, because it is how well or how bad the economy is faring that a presidential candidate can situate the political voters, the potential voters, on their living standards. In the current presidential race in Cameroon, hopefuls do not seem to focus on the economy. Are they missing the point? Or Cameroon has different priorities to be addressed. Whatever such priorities may be, failing to project the economy in a political program can only be an oversight. So on Press R today, we ask, what is the place of the economy in the political program of October 12, 2025 presidential poll in Cameroon? On Press R today as well, we shall also look at how the media have covered the race this far. Has the press been fair and responsible? Has it been promoting or fighting hate speech, fake news, misinformation, and disinformation? I am Kilian Dandifoni Yaounde, and this is Press R. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Press R, and we are broadcasting live from Studio 4 of the CRTV Production Center here at Mbalatu in Yaoundé. Our topic, we have one topic in two facets today on the program, October 12, 2025 presidential election. Media coverage this far. We're going to see how far the media has been playing its role. Is it a responsible media? Are they treating the issues with some fairness? How are they doing with fake news and other issues that the press has to take responsibility over? Then we will now focus on the place of the economy in the political programs of the various candidates for the 2025 presidential election. In Cameroon, we have 12 of them, and we talk about this on the set today. We have Reverend Dr. Robert E. Ngu, who is an international business and economic specialist. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you.
This is the first time I'm having you on set. You've been on set, but I was not the presenter. I'm really pleased to have you on Press R today.
Okay. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have Steve Ojong, who is a publisher and editor-in-chief of the media newspaper. Steve, happy to have you here again after some time.
Yeah, it's good to be back on Press after a while. Kilian, I've not been here. I used to be a regular on the set. For some time now, I've not been coming for reasons you probably know.
For reasons also you should know yourself. Okay, we are not to talk about that here.
Sure, for sure.
Stephen,
for sure.
don't push it at me, because if I push
But
back at you, you will not
I
be able to
hope
defend
you are
yourself.
going to give us the opportunity to put out the small the package we came with.
Yes, I trust you that your small will be big on this set. Thank you so much. I'm going to introduce from the specialist, economic specialist, to a journalist. I'm going to another economic specialist, Dr. Tuminta Kennedy, who is an economist. He is the CEO of Africa BIPS. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here and to discuss on this very unique topic. I'm very happy once more to join this enlightened and dignified panelists.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We're going to introduce Richard Lajong, who is a pressman. He's the publisher and editor-in-chief of the Herald Tribune. Richard, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Kilian. I'm honored to be back on set after a while. Like Steph said, for reasons we cannot discuss here.
Okay. I just have to laugh back at you, the two of you especially. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have another important member of the Press Hour team. She is there every Sunday. She is actually the one who sets the pace. For us, Emanuela Vemni, who reads the newspapers for Press Hour. Manuela, what have the newspapers been saying this week?
The Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9, captured the attention of newspaper publishers in Cameroon the week ending. Bia's envoy Dion Gute to represent Cameroon headlines municipal updates at a time Japan injects 1.2 billion CFA francs to support fish farming in Cameroon in the Chronicle Times. Cameroon then aims for big deals at TICAD 9 in Yokohama in Cameroon Insider. And as Cameroon is present at the Tokyo Conference in Cameroon Tribune, the paper indicates a promising future for Cameroon-Japan cooperation, especially as Paul Bia's message is delivered on the occasion in the same paper. A message of synergy to sustain global stabilization efforts in municipal updates on the one hand, and a highlight of Cameroon's pivotal role in regional stability and security efforts in the Express on the other. Before Cameroon's Prime Minister and his Japanese counterpart discussed boosting ties in the Guardian Post, setting the stage for new horizons on Cameroon-Japan relations in municipal updates. Happening when the country is boiling with political activities, Newswatch presents tidbits of the election with SDF blowing victory trumpet amid massive resignation, Kamto announcing campaign contribution refund, and Elekam enjoining stakeholders to work for peace. But Lebialem strategizes in the Chronicle Times to massively vote Biya, just when dismissed SDF officials join NUDP and endorse Bello Buba in the Guardian Post. The interest of the median is on Elekam that takes out polling stations from military barracks and chiefs' palaces, a decision the Horizon credits SDF's candidates for, writing Joshua Osi scores high for getting Elekam to relocate sensitive polling stations. Messager is then reportedly poised to deliver landslide victory to CPDM in the Voice newspaper. Yet polls in the Horizon projects Chiroma as Cameroon's third president. At a time Akeremuna petitions Constitutional Council to disqualify Biya in the Guardian Post, citing Biya's physical and cognitive limitations and persistent leadership by proxy as flagrant violation of the Electoral Code. Newswatch indicates that the verdict on the Akeremuna petition will be known Friday. The median quotes Dr. Ashu Nyenti, Akeremuna's démarche is an exercise of futility, and indeed the Constitutional Council rejects the petition on grounds that his assumptions cannot be proven. Happening when Cameroonians are said to express mixed views on the idea of an Anglophone as next president in the Post newspaper, Bishop Paul Lonsi of the Bafoussam Diocese urges election officials to fear God in Newsherb before candidates for the presidential election are reportedly using the internet and social media to win hearts in Cameroon Insider. Journalists are on their part called upon to report elections from human rights perspective in The Advocate, especially as the Bilingualism Commission and Bamenda Association of English-Speaking Journalists Kamasej intensify campaign against hate speech and xenophobia in municipal updates. The chorus of transparency in the presidential election is then sung in Cameroon Tribune. Before top defense and security officials recently appointed are installed in the same paper. Then the defense boss Joseph Beti Asomo tells new general officers and service chiefs in Cameroon Insider, hear everything, do not say everything. At a time, Secondary Education Minister Professor Nalova Lyonga sets the stage for the 2025-2026 school year in Cameroon Insider by announcing digital connectivity in schools in the Sun newspaper. Such announced innovations municipal updates indicate will ease the teaching and learning process. But the median wonders, what about scholarships for students with exceptional results in GCE levels and back? The paper thinks offering scholarships as recognition for educational excellence should be considered. Until I come your way again, this is your Hour with the Press.
Thank you, Emanuela, and the Hour with the Press is rolling on. Topics for today, ladies and gentlemen, we have two. We're going to look at how the media has covered this far the presidential race in Cameroon, and after that we will have to look at the place of the economy in the political programs of the various candidates. We know there are 12 of them. Now, after watching Emanuela Vemnui, Steve Ojong, we're going to delve into our first topic, how the media this far has covered this election. And from your paper, I note this: for the latest publication, you said in the Median that Akeremuna's démarche exercise of futility, referring to his petition at the Constitutional Council, talking about the inability of one of the candidates. Now, generally, taking from that, how has your paper been covering this? And you take from there to other papers.
Yeah, like you just indicated, we reported and quoted Dr. Ashunyanti, who is, I would not say a legal authority, but a legally conscious somebody, who pointed out that the petition by Akeremuna will fall flat when it comes before the Constitutional Council, because according to him, the points Akeremuna raised were not tenable. He predicted that the Constitutional Council was going to throw out the petition. Some of our readers called us, insulting us, that we are supporting the President Biya, we are supporting the CPDM. But it turned out to be that what Ashunyanti predicted was what the Constitutional Council actually ruled about. The Constitutional Council said the petition was admissible, but it wasn't strong enough. The arguments were not strong enough as to be tenable, and the petition was thrown out. So that is how we cover the facts. We don't give our impression. We give what people say. We can only report what people say with facts. We don't say what we think. That's how we have been covering the election. That's how we have been monitoring the election before even the publication of the list of candidates.
Now, on that very issue, I ask you, it's good you are quoting the person who said it,
yes,
and you relayed what that person said.
Yes.
That was before the sitting, the hearings at the Constitutional Council.
Yes.
By relaying it on that one side, were you not, as those people said, supporting, given that you as a pressman could have instead asked a question, will the Constitutional Council disqualify or maintain according to the petition of Akeremuna?
Yeah, interestingly, we are always very professional at the media when we report. If you go to that issue of the newspaper, there was another observer, Barrister Agwabala, who said that what Akeremuna was pointing out is a critical phase in Cameroon's democracy. That somebody comes out to use the Constitution and the Electoral Code to point out that President Biya is actually incapacitated to handle this position. That is a milestone. So we juxtapose the two reports in our newspaper. We did not just highlight only Ashunyanti. We highlighted both Ashunyanti and Agwabala to balance our report. We didn't take sides with anybody. Agwabala was praying the Constitutional Council to entertain and uphold Akeremuna's arguments. Ashunyanti was saying that was suggesting that the Constitutional Council should throw out because the arguments are not tenable. It happened that it was like a football match, somebody has to win.
Yes, but there on your cover page, you highlighted one side. You didn't highlight the other. Because on your cover page you said Akeremuna's démarche exercise of futility.
That was our headline.
Now,
and in our intro, we actually put out the arguments. He said President Paul Biya has been absent from the public view for quite some time. He rules by proxy, and he doesn't find it reasonable for the president to put his candidature for another term. That is, he hasn't the capacity, mentally and physically, to put his candidature to continue to be at the helm of the state of Cameroon.
Of course, and the Constitutional Council said that he did not have proof to hold his point.
And interestingly, Akere Muna says he submits to the ruling of the Constitutional Council.
Thank you. Richard, how has the Herald Tribune been covering? We have had issues like the publication of the list of candidates by the Elections Cameroon, ELECAN, and we had the pre-electoral litigations that were hallmarks on the path of that race. So how has your newspaper, you are publisher and editor-in-chief, the Herald Tribune, how have you been handling those two and other issues?
Yeah, thank you, Killian. I think the Herald Tribune, I should say, has been very keen on the electoral process as it's unfolding with the publication of the list. We've published articles on that, or stories on that. And then with the litigations that have also been at the level of the Constitutional Council. Unfortunately, the reviewer did not review our the Herald Tribune for this week. We had 2 publications this week. And I don't know whether maybe the sensitivity of the headline that made her not to review it.
No, that cannot be true. Because,
well, I don't know, but I am okay.
If it fails, well, those are internal things. We'll treat them internally.
I don't want to go into that, Killian.
Yes,
I don't want to go into it.
Thank you.
Because that is not the first time. We had a headline when Akere petition. We said October 12 elections. Akere wants Biya out, and coming to what my brother Steve has said on his own report, which according to you said was one-sided, but he has come to say no, there was another angle to it from another legal mind. And he just comes to tell us that from what Dr. Ashu Nyensi said, the Constitutional Council just went into that. And the question was it necessary for Dr. Ashu Nyensi to publish that article when the Constitutional Council is yet to meet? Because some of those
can
things
do that
as
a political analyst. He has a right to do that.
Okay.
I think so.
He has a right to do that, but remember, Killian, we are often told that it's not good when a matter is in court. It is not good for us to kind of pass a judgment, because to me, that was already a judgment passed by Dr. Ashu Nyensi, and the Constitutional Council upheld to his submissions. I mean, because most of the things...
I still think what you are saying, you have a very big point there to make, but what I'm saying is that in a political analysis, you don't have to allow certain things hanging so much. You have to have a kind of hypothesis. If it doesn't happen, okay, you fail. But it happens that his hypothesis was validated at the end.
Agreed. But, with the current situation, with our system, everything that goes to the Constitutional Council that is not in favor of the regime in place would definitely be thrown out. It would, so there is no need beating around the bush, Killian, about as far as that is concerned, because we all know by what one of the candidates, Akere Muna, said about our head of state, that is unavailable to rule this nation mentally, physically. And it is true. When was the last time did we have the head of state come out in public?
The Constitutional Council cannot say that it is not true.
When was the last time did he come out in public for Cameroonians to say, apart from 20th May?
No, he comes out. 20th May, is that not an event?
Now, that was in May.
He received so many...
That was in May, and we're in August. And in August, after that, the only time again was when he received the apostolic nuncio. I think
why don't you say that was not time?
Cameroonians want to see their presidents often, to come out and let them see him, to know that he is strong. At the moment, we don't know whether he is also going to go out on campaign or not, because all along,
he was certainly
everything has
going
been
on
on
campaign.
proxy.
Have you applied to meet him at the 2D and the application you have not met him?
Why are you asking that as if you don't? You yourself, have you gone there? Have you ever been?
But I see him every day receiving.
You see him
people,
where on pictures?
receiving people at the Unity Palace.
Where? When was the last time
No,
you did
because
that?
he received you yourself. You just said.
If I may add something to what he said,
No,
we have this problem. When we report on the candidates and we report on President Paul Biya, people call back to say, but this picture, this photo you use,
it's not the
where did you get it?
Yeah.
We want the photo of the president now.
Good.
Where did you get this photo?
Now, let me make a point. The point is, it has been said and said again, that it is his style. It has not just started now. He has not been that forthcoming. He comes out only when it is necessary. Probably you want to see the president this time during the election. Yes, let us watch and see the campaigns is going to start.
No, Killian, it is not just the president. We want to see all the candidates. Cameroonians want to know the candidates.
The candidates, let them come out. And
some
have been
that's
going
what
out.
we are saying.
Some have already been going out.
Cameroonians expected to have seen the president go to Elekam to submit his file.
Yeah. Okay, look at what
That's an option.
The Secretary General.
That's an option that.
No, the Secretary General.
So
he was receiving people.
Let me also
He was
tell
receiving people and talking about.
Let me show you how biased.
Candidate.
You have very good point, but let me show you how biased you are. Of the 83 candidates that were retained,
Yes.
not up to half of them went to Elekam. Some delegated delegations.
Those were not serious
no,
ones.
Those
were not serious candidates.
See how you're falling
they were
into
not
your own
serious
trap.
candidate.
No,
because
a candidate is a candidate.
Who wants to,
now, Richard,
to rule a country
Richard,
should
let us
carry his file, move to Elekam, present the files, and people see
Richard, the campaigns are going to start by the 27th of September, not far from now. So that is when you should bring up this argument.
No, Killian,
now we are moving on to
imagine President Biya at this Constitutional Council saying that here am I, you say I'm not president. Imagine how
this
the
is
president
are you looking for impression or for facts? No, we're looking for impressions.
The fact is that he is unavailable.
He was ably represented.
No, and that he has been ably represented in almost every sphere of
let me ask you this question. Is there anywhere in the law that says that if he does not come, it's a problem? If you quote that, but I will lay down my arms, I should call it like
when you're asking
is there any section in any law that says that he must be the one to come? If there is, I lay down
our laws have been tailored to favor the regime.
No, that's commentary.
No, it's true. Our laws have been tailored to favor everything about the regime.
Submit their file at Elekam.
No.
Everybody expected to see President Paul Biya.
No, don't misquote that code.
At least there should be some respect for Cameroonians.
Don't misquote electoral code. Nowhere does election say that personally the candidate should.
The code says that candidates should submit their file at Elekam.
It is
not stated that representatives of candidates
political parties.
You're watering down some big points, some great points that you made. Now we have other guests who are still waiting to talk about this thing. We talk about fake news, hate speech. How do you find that this time in covering the election? I think we should take the president of the National Communication Council first and let him assess how fake news, hate speech, misinformation and disinformation has been faring this far. I'm going to come to you, the Reverend Doctor. So we're going to watch the president of the National Communication Council, George Ibonke Calvo.
It's important to underscore the fact that this is a phenomenon that increases during electoral periods. And it's also important to note that compared to what we had in 2018, the Council has noticed a reduction or reduced impact of that, and I think that this might be attributed to the fact that we have been organizing educative programs, sensitization programs, and also we've used the legal frameworks that we have to be able to flag content which is not appropriate online, and with our partners, TikTok, Meta, and Antique, we've tried to play down on the impact of these outrageous phenomenon.
Yes, well, we're going to go back to him before we come to the set, because it's good we get over with him and we comment on what he's saying. He also is saying that the National Communication Council has been rigid in handling those who deviate, who disrespect the media ethics, deontology, and professional consciousness. Let us also get from him what the Communication Council has been doing and intend to do to those who do not respect the rules of communication.
The Council has been very consistent in handling deviant attitude, be it in the traditional media or online content. And we have sanctioned without blinking any deviant individual, either in the traditional media or online content. And we will do that more consistently now. And we are glad to announce that we now have new machines, not only new machines, but new digital mobile kits that will help us deploy our technicians across the country, and we can get the minute details even from community radios or commercial radios whose bandwidth don't attain Yaoundé.
Well, so pressman you are, you know, the watchdog of media activities is watching all of you. It's a call for responsibility, Stephen.
That's true. But you know, there's now a way out. We are controlled, we are monitored, we are regulated. And this has created a situation where the press has expanded to include now social media and citizen journalists. If I have something that I could publish in the Median, and I think that the Communication Council may, yes, I could take it to the social media or to...
Social media also is controlled. Antique is there. He talked about that.
Well, we see so many things on social media, and nobody comes to say. For instance, you were just talking about fake news. There was a report on the internet that the candidate Isha Chiruma had been summoned to appear before the criminal court on charges of corruption. Some reports came that his passport had been seized. But Chiruma came out strongly that he had not received any such summons from the criminal court. There were reports that the 27 big wigs of the SDF who were
27 plus,
who were dismissed,
plus
who were dismissed
8,
from the party,
plus 8 now,
that all of them
85.
had grouped themselves and joined the UNDP party, taking along over 300 other militants from the Northwest to join the UNDP. But the SDF issued a statement saying that was not true, that it was just one of the 27 militants who joined the UNDP with just a few of his brothers and sisters in his neighborhood.
So you just believe, where I covered the Central Committee meeting of the NUDP that made Bello Buba to declare his candidature. And there I had former bigwigs of the SDF. It was not just one. So we should always balance. That's what we're talking about, fair and
I'm sure Steve should be talking about what happened in the Northwest, in Bamenda, where one of them, came out to declare, and he made kind of a general statement which went viral on the social media.
Had joined.
Yeah, so, okay. I think on fake news, Killian, there was this recent situation that concerned just after the Constitutional Council ruled over the various litigations, and a few days later, we saw images of
the conference center. Yes.
That was in flames. Actually, which wasn't the case, because sometimes some of those things are AI generated, and so people tend to believe in them. But thank God that the conference center had to come out with a statement debunking that video that went viral, that there was no fire incident at the conference center.
And also thank God that you of the press, you did not follow such statements.
No, we didn't.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And again, just before you give the microphone to the other panelists, right now we see videos of circulating on social media that CPDM supporters were chased out from holding the rally in the north, which wasn't true. Those are images from somewhere. But if we are not careful, sometimes you see those things with the conventional media. You see, if you are not very careful, you can carry them. Though some do fall into that trap. But I think it is very important that each time those things come out, those who are concerned should quickly come out to debunk, so that it doesn't go.
Yes, and then the press should do verification, cross-verification.
Exactly.
I'm going to turn to you now, the two specialists in the economy. Before we open that chapter, please, a word on the responsibility of the media in covering the October 12, 2025 presidential poll in Cameroon, beginning with Dr. Duminta Kennedy.
Yes, Kilem, I think that the social responsibility of the media is to check, is to educate, and they are also out to show lapses and stay. And I think that it is in their enlightened self-interest to have a peaceful environment where people can express their view, but they also have to follow the media deontology, professional ethics. But at the same time, it's so important for them because before, during, and after elections, we need a peaceful and successful economic system where people can also work, raise money, buy their newspaper, and go along with their activities.
Thank you so much. Well said, Reverend Dr. Robert Ingu. Your word on the way you've been following the media during this election that is ongoing.
One of the things that I've realized, especially in Cameroon, is that everybody writes whatever they want to write and just claim that is the truth. But the truth is not really the truth. We're talking about the indefinite article. Somebody says it's a truth, but it's a truth. And then what really, not really baffles me is that, do we really love this country? You see, we just write anything. And then when you check in the other countries what is happening, and even during this period, you find that a lot of things are also happening, even in the United States, Nigeria, all over. But the press, I've been trying to find out exactly what are the standards that we're following. What do we receive? And then when we receive, what is the judgmental? What is it that, how do we analyze it? People just write, and who are those writing? Somebody who is hungry, especially, when in primary school they say empty vessels make more sound. And one of the things that is really happening is that we are as if we are playing checks on the lives of the people. We are like just doing anything that we want to do, and we expect. And then when I hear
but we should also say that, like they were saying, it's not all the press. It's just a few probably that do that, and we cannot generalize, Reverend Doctor.
Okay, and then when we said most of the candidates, they were not serious candidates. I don't understand anybody who is going for presidential election is not a serious candidate. You see, it is, and this is 2025.
You recall somebody came there to complain that he has not had his...
but how did we get to select?
He had no program, he just wanted to get his arrears paid, and he has been paid, he has forgotten about it.
Anybody has the right to send somebody, I don't know, fully.
Yes, you wanted to make another point.
Just to come back, I think that I'm very happy that the President of National Communication Council actually raised this issue, and he's made mention of the fact that they are investing a lot in equipment to check, but also they have to figure out a way to invest in the capacity of some of our local players, because their financial capacity are very low.
Good.
Their ability to train their personnel are very low. And I think that the press is a public good. It's for everybody. And I think that I'm very sure that that they are going to look into these issues, because you have very serious press out there doing a lot of things. But sometimes we have given a lot of permissions because of course, freedom of speech, to many unwanted, scrupulous, that do not press organs that do not follow the deontology. And I think that we should think about educating our press and equipping them so that they can follow
as he said, that is exactly why he said
Killian, please, just, let me just... yes, what Dr. Tumenta has said. I think what he has said, we are coming back, we are coming there. It goes to the second part, we are learning to the second part of the...
The second part of the debate, so are you talking about the economy now? Are you talking about the economy?
Of course, it has to do with the economy.
Now, if you're talking about the economy...
Economically,
yes, if it's about economy, Richard, yes. I'll begin with you since you have the microphone. Candidates, I've looked at their manifestos. I see so many of them talk about we're going to solve the crisis, we're going to go for this form of government, we're going to do this, without actually seeing how they put the economy first at the forefront. I know when I follow some other countries, more advanced, more developed than us, the economy is at the center of the debate during presidential election. Are you seeing this in Cameroon?
Yes, Killian, I'm seeing it, and I want to quote the president of the Cameroon Employers Union, GICAM, Celestin Tawamba, and the fact, I quote him, I think the press is a stakeholder in the electoral process, and they need to be empowered. No matter the means, they need to be empowered. And
yes, Steve.
So,
what are the candidates putting the
economy
at the center of the debate?
Please,
we had already finished with that.
Please.
We had already finished with the press.
Let me take on my point.
We are on the economy.
Killian, I was going to quote Celestin Tawamba to say that he has actually raised an issue as far as the presidential candidates are concerned, because none of them is talking about how they're going to revive the economy of the country. And this is what he said. The presidential election cannot just be another routine political event, regardless of the outcome. This election marks a break from an outdoor model. The upcoming election, therefore, represents a historic opportunity to rebuild our republic around a state that serves its citizens and guarantees freedoms, economic justice, and shared progress. And GICAM says Cameroon must be invited to change. And the new era Cameroon is aspiring to, business cannot be ignored.
Yes.
And so if the various candidates are talking about solving the problems in Anglophone or the type of government without looking at how the economy of the country is going to function, I think they need to go back and revise the manifesto.
Steve, we'll come back to you. Let's go to the economies. Now we are going to ask you to tell us what is the economic situation of Cameroon, where we stand in terms of the growth rate, and we start from there.
Yes, I think that you are very right, Killian. Before they we analyze their programs, they need to know where we stand and where we are going to. And if looking at that, we need to look at 6 fundamental factors. One is the growth rate. At the moment, our projected growth rate, we expect to have approximately, let's say, 3.5%. 3.5% to 4%, which is really good. For the physical, we have to look at inflation.
When you say 3.5%, good?
Yeah, GDP. Yes, GDP. I'm talking about GDP because the real GDP in 2024 was exactly 3.5%, up from 3.2% in 2023. And so if we look at the macroeconomic conditions, which we will look at it from the candidates' point of view, they are projecting getting to 3.74% this year. So if you look at, which is not bad, if you look at the fiscal and monetary policy, which is inflation, we have struggled from to move from 7.4% average to, we are struggling to get, from 7.4% to 4.5%. If we look at unemployment rate, because we look at unemployment, because if you are a candidate, you need to tell us how you're going to create jobs. Unemployment between 3.52% in 2024, because you're looking at 2024, 2025 is ongoing.
Do you rate that as good as an economist?
Well, all of us, we really understand that we need to create massive jobs. We need to create jobs, and once we analyze we have to judge the candidate on job creation, on reducing inflation, economic growth, and natural resource stabilizations, energy, infrastructure, as well as the financial sector.
So you are saying that these candidates who do not come up with some of these points should be questioned by the voters, potential voters?
Exactly. We have to question. Some of them build their economic strategy on let's get peace and the form of the government, which is a necessary but not a sufficient condition to accelerate our economy. So we have to look at the different metrics on what is the growth rate that we need to get, the employment facilities, and so on and so forth.
Yes, the place of the economy, and then you also either react or advance the points that Dr. Tumita Kennedy has made, Reverend Dr. Robert Ingu.
In reality, when we're talking about economics, I'm not going into any theory here because this is not the time, this is not the classroom situation. But one thing is that I have, according to my analysis in this country in general, or the citizens of this country, they have been placed in a position where micro has taken, almost 90%. You cannot grow with micro. Macro is the issue.
Now,
we need
just tell us.
Okay.
We are not economists. What do you mean by micro, and what do you mean
micro?
by macro?
Is a little independent thing that people are involved in. And which they have,
like doing the call box.
Yes,
selling,
doing
is that what it is?
Take 500,000 and give to somebody to plant a few acres of banana, and he's competing with the world market. That is micro.
Okay.
But macro now, we have to be able to touch the world, touch nationally. What are we doing for the people? You as a presidential candidate, when we're talking about unemployment, we have, Cameroon is one of the best nations in the world. We have Nigeria that's with us. We have the Congo Democratic Republic, which is the second largest. We have the United States, and most of our people are in the U.S. So what are we doing in getting those issues interest? How can we survive by only looking at, and then most of what is happening in the economy of this country, most of what is happening is just private. Somebody opens something and hires only his own people. No matter how educated you are, no matter what you know, you don't have the job. Then we expect the government to run all what we're supposed to have. So these people who are coming out as presidential candidates, what is it that you are saying? They're not saying anything. I've not heard any of them saying anything.
For now, maybe they're planning to do that during the campaigns. Yes, you want to continue?
The AGF said something.
So maybe I can join. What he's saying is very fundamental. If you allow me to take three of the candidates, just speak, and then the others can say. If you look at President Paul Biya's CPDM's program, it's a continuity. If you say continuity of their program from three phases: 1, let us build infrastructure; 2, import substitution; 3, accelerate growth. If you look at the prescription that the president gave for the budget, you will see big push projects inside. If you look at what they, let's take Ateki. This is one of the programs that I really I look at also.
Ateki Seta Kapsa.
I look at his program, and he came with a big push. He said that he is going to, this is very interesting, invest 70,000 billion. 70,000 billion within the next 5 years to make sure that road, energy production, and special economic zones building on the import substitution strategy of the CPDM. And he said that he's going to focus on big market, like what Prof is saying. He said he's going to focus on big market to capitalize on issues such as the African continental free trade, the same thing.
Yeah, take a third one.
Yeah, the third one. So if you look at the program of the Akeremona, a historian out. What he's saying is that he's going to bring a lot of governance issue because he believes that the country produces a lot of money, but there's a lot of loopholes. So he's going to spend a lot of time addressing issues of governance, financial transparency, and increasing budget. And if you look at the issue of, let's say, he said Josie Osho, we know that he's advocating for a federal system of economy, which furthers decentralization, which Ateki also brings. So I'm really looking at all these candidates. What is that thing that you are bringing new that is going to? I mean, a lot of them are accelerating, which says something. They are not refuting what is there, but they are saying that we have to close loopholes and accelerate faster because
you also mean that they can suggest to the current government to close those loopholes now and then stay in place. Let me come back to you. What do you suggest should be done?
I'm saying when somebody talks about investing 70 billion, it's 70,000 billion. That's 70 trillion. When we talk about 70,000 in English now, we don't even understand. Where is he? I mean, what does that mean? Representing what? What is the market portion of whatever he's trying to do? How are the citizens? But in Cameroon, really, when you look at it, these people, we are not even talking about. We're talking about average. We don't have a minimum. And you cannot be working on an average, and there is no minimum, and that's why the people are just there listening, and then you come out of big figures, which is, of course, is nothing. 70 trillion can be gotten in this country in less than 3 months. So you're investing 70 billion on what? And then what is the minimum? Then we were talking about average. Everything in Cameroon now is just average. So, there is no minimum. And that is the reason.
So what should they be talking about as
They should be talking about giving us concrete
issues. Such as
this is the market we have. This is what we want to do. We must go global. We must be able to expand. We use what is coming. What is the break-even point in whatever we're doing in the first place? What is the commercial policy? What are we doing? How are the taxes going on? How are we the importation and whatever? What is it that can be done in Cameroon for the world?
International market.
You are also just talking globally. In developed countries, I always hear them talk about the middle class.
Yes.
The middle class. That if you empower the middle class, then you are making breaking grounds in the economy.
According to my projections, when we're talking about the middle class, if you use, is the odd number, you use the 5. 1, 2, 3 is the middle class, 4, 5 is the lower part. And if the middle class cannot be more than the lower and the upper, there's no middle class. You understand what I'm saying?
Very well. So you're saying that the middle class
we don't have a middle class in Cameroon. We don't have a middle class.
The middle class is made up of what type of people?
Middle class is made of people who can actually connect with the lower class and the higher class and the higher class, and those who are technically fit to do the job.
Yes, that's not a profile. Can you give us the profile of the middle class?
Yes, look. What Reverend Doctor is saying is that we need to make sure that we construct an economy that the private sector leads, just like what the GCAN president is saying, which we have. The only problem is that they are all found in the informal sector, which we have approximately 70%, according to the statistics of the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises. 70% are individual owned. So all of them, and that's what I say, that if you look at the program of the current government, they are accelerating what they have put in place. If you look at Ateki, that's how I want to let Doctor understand that he actually built on some of this program. In the middle class, he spoke about incubator at the rural areas. He said, on getting the bigger market, he says that we need to build on import substitution process and connect with the market out there. So I think that's two of them. The program we actually saw, you could see from the CPDM, you could see from Ateki. They came out with their macro, which we can analyze with their program.
Thank you. I will get back to you. I'm going to the pressmen on the set. There's this question, Steve Ojong and Richard Alajong, that I will ask you concerning this middle class. It is said I should ask you if by a stroke of accident, which I don't wish should happen, you don't have your monthly source of income, can you survive for 3 months living the same lifestyle, solving your problems? Because sometimes that's what they use to know that people are well. Tell us where you are and whether you can survive in Cameroon.
Like for me?
Yeah, you, beginning with you, and then you extend to others.
For me, at least I'm a publisher of a newspaper. If my newspaper happens to close down today, I can be sure to live for another one year without showing any sense of despondency or. But
so you should be above the middle class.
That is for me. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if my collaborators,
okay,
the people I pay, because at times I regret paying them that amount, but that is what I have. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they were able to live for even that month. Mm-hmm. If I don't pay them, okay, if they were able to pay even their rents and feed themselves,
their families.
And that goes to say that I think the problem we have in Cameroon first is poverty. I expect the presidential candidates to tell us exactly how they are going to fight poverty. The average Cameroonian is essentially poor. If you go to the streets, and we are not only poor, our poverty is even accentuated by the fact that the prices of goods and services keep hiking in the market every day. The amount for which you used to buy rice, a cup of rice in the market, has almost doubled. Gari that you used to buy 10 cups for 100, now with 100 francs you can buy just 2 cups of Gari. So how the persons who want to become president of the republic, how are they going to reverse this situation? Okay. Because in Cameroon before we used to have abundance. It was not like this. We had a sense of fulfillment that even if I don't have money in my pocket, I'm sure to feed myself. That sense is no longer there. That feeling is no longer there.
Yes, Richard.
Yes, talking about the middle class, came from Steph. If the Herald Tribune closes today, I think it's going to be a big problem. First to me, and then secondly, those with whom we work to build the Herald Tribune, because we have not been fully financially empowered the way things have been made in this country, Killian, that sometimes adverts which government used to give, they no longer give. All adverts are directed only to Cameroon Tribune. And the little that come, even to be paid, it takes several years for you to be paid a one-page advert that government had given you. And so how do you even survive? And then when it comes to, media assistance, which the government usually gives, it is just not even up to what you spend in compiling documents. So sometimes, I think if every other sector is empowered, the media too will be empowered. If a petty trader who does a hairdressing salon should be able to advertise
some people
his
question even the government subsidies and adverts, especially to private newspapers, because it makes you not to be independent to a point.
No, Killian, you cannot. When you talk about being independent, no matter how much you try to be as independent, there are always those speed breaks, because there are certain things which they'll tell you cannot say these against the state. Because if you say it, one, your bills will not be paid. Two, you will be struck off from the media aid. So they do that to impoverish us, and then comes out once in a while to give us some crumbs. And we take
do you measure the gravity of what you're saying, that you are totally dependent, you can't actually...
No, what is happening now is some of us are beginning to divert.
Like the economist pointed out, the service we are rendering is a public service.
Yeah.
Just like CRTV, just like Cameroon Tribune.
Yes.
We also pay taxes to this country.
To the state, yeah.
The government cannot collect the taxes and give that money, share that money to CRTV and Cameroon Tribune when we are running the same services like CRTV and Cameroon Tribune. So giving us subsidy is a right. It's not a favor.
And how much is it in other countries? Billions are giving. In Cameroon, we are giving 120 million. At the end of the day, 50 million is shared.
Cameroon Tribune gives out.
We have 4 minutes to go to the end of this program. I'm going to take it back to the Economist to give us the way forward. How should the presidential candidates for the 2025 presidential election in Cameroon, that's in October, on October 12th, where should they keep the economy?
Yeah, in simple terms, what is economy? The effective utilization of our resources. Now, if you have 20 people that you are paying, as you're saying, you need to have other angles of revenue coming in. What is your newspaper doing? How are you sensitizing the people in this country? What are they doing? How can they contribute in what they do? Because you have to promote them in their marketing. You see, the consumer is the last stage in marketing. But most of what is happening here is just the consumer. People just consume. And then the politicians who are the candidates, they are not even certain of how they can be able to increase production, how they can be able to include those who are actually marginalized. And that is the problem that we have. And those of us economists, we want to express to them. Even if I have to come to you now to show you that, okay, in this your newspaper, this is what you can do to raise money, you just look at me as if I'm dreaming.
No, they will not. You have to go first. Let them look at you as if you are dreaming. Yes.
So I think, go straight to the point. I think that, as he said, economy is about choices, the choice you make and the behavior. So let's take the choice. We have to make sure that we increase our revenue, domestic resource mobilization, increase our productivity, build infrastructures, improve the infrastructures, bring in energy, and foster entrepreneurship. On the other side, on the expenditure side, we need to use proper utilization of our existing resources and income.
Amen.
Meaning that, and this is what we are looking for. Permit me, Paul Biya used communal liberalism. But what we are calling today is to build on it and call Ubuntunomics. Self-interest not at the expense of our society. And that's where we call ethics. An ethical economic agenda has to be put in place, and to make sure that together we can build an economy that everybody wins.
Ubuntu, I see what you...
Ubuntu, yes.
Now, the last word goes to the eldest panelist on the set. After everything, we need peace. Like it has been said, so many stakes before, during, and after this election.
Coming from my basic studies in management and economics.
Not only that, you are a reverend.
Yes, and then please, no matter what happens, Cameroon is not an island. Cameroon, it depends with others. We have more than 4 billion people watching, affiliated with Cameroon. We have to be able to have peace. If there's no peace, nobody's coming to invest. Nobody will even want to give you anything. And I have people that are already in the United States all over wanting to, but when they look at the picture, look at their politicians, what are they saying?
Yes.
What can we do?
Yeah, let us look at prayer. What are you doing?
Prayer. Prayer is a very effective. Sometimes, if prayer is communicating with who? The owner of the universe. And that's Jesus. Whether you're a Muslim or not, there's one owner, there's one person that is in charge. So when we pray, what are we praying for? When we pray now, we have to put it into action. We pray.
Do you have special programs for prayer?
Yes, we have many churches are praying. And then we, in the forum that I am leading, which is the March for Jesus, let me excuse you, I'm not excusing myself. We are bringing out Christians to let the world know that peace must reign in Cameroon. That Jesus is the chief executive of His Excellency Paul Biya and all those 12 candidates, whether you're a Muslim or not. And if we come out and show the world before this presidential election that Cameroon is ready for change, with progress. It's not a matter of being Catholic or Presbyterian and all that. It's a matter of recognizing who Jesus is, and then we build on that.
Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Robin Ingu, who is international business and economic specialist. Thank you to Dr. Tuminta Kennedy, who is an economist and the CEO of Africa Beep. Thank you, Steve Ojong, who is the publisher, editor-in-chief of the Median newspaper. Richard Lajong is the publisher and editor-in-chief of the Herald Tribune. On behalf of the entire production team, ladies and gentlemen, want to say thank you for watching this program.